Hello, this is Galen Martling, design team member with Unity Stamp Company. I have a sweet gnome card today, and I'm using watercolor, and I'm going to use watercolor pencils. They are Derwent Ink Tints watercolor pencils, along with stamping. For the stamping, I'm using Unity's Gnomes and You stamp kit. And it has this gnome and it has different sentiments you can put right in that cup. It's real sweet. I'm using pattern paper by Unity. The paper packs are called Farmhouse Plaid and Trick or Treat. I'm using pieces of those for this. I'm also using My Favorite Things Dynamics and Derwent Ink Tints watercolor pencils in a few colors. So now with the watercolor pencils, you can take a wet brush right to the tip of the pencils and create a little bit of a palette puddle of color. That's what I'm doing for a lot of the card. The other way you can use them is to use a dry pencil onto your stamp or onto the stamped image there, onto watercolor paper, and just gently and lightly sketch onto the paper and then add a wet brush right to the paper over the stamping. So there's two ways of using it. I'm going to start out using the puddle of color that I made right from the pencil tip. And I wanted it diluted a little and have a little more control over what this cup is going to look like. I just wanted a real muted look for the coloring on the gnome and the cup. So I wanted to dilute the color. It's actually a black pencil that I diluted and it got like a gray taupe color. Perfect for what I was trying to do. Now I just outline it lightly and then blend in the rest of that color right over the sentiment, and the sentiment still shows nicely with that. And so the brush is wet and then damper towards the end. When you want to finish it up, you just dampen it a little bit, blot it off onto the paper towel to get it less wet, if you will. So now for the hat, the only other color I'm using is for the hat. It's like a purple color. It looks blue there, but it lightens up to a purple. And so that's what I was going for. I diluted that color with a wet brush and just started outlining and putting the creases, more color into the creases. And then I will blend it out with a damp brush all through the middle of the hat. And then I like to just go ahead and add some more color where I think there might be shading or wherever there's creases in the stamp or the artist made creases. So then I like to go ahead and darken those areas. Now, to remove color, you take a little bit of water off of your brush and just move it right over that watercolor while it's still wet, and you get highlighted areas. I like to do that a lot. And so there you go. It's real sweet. Now this is another way to use them. I am taking a brown and I'm lightly drawing and coloring and a little bit of shading for the nose and the hands on the gnome. And then I go in with a damp brush and blend that out. Now I also add a little bit of color to the bottom part of that beard there in that brown, and then I blend that out very, very lightly. I was going for a very muted shade for coloring for this. And then I get ready, I heat set that, make sure it's all dry. Now I wanted to add some splatters, but I added just a paper trimmed piece of paper. I covered the gnome cup, and then I left the edges bare so that the splatter would go right onto that background. And then I just moved that mask to just add some more splatters. And then I heat set that again to make sure all of the watercolor is dry. For the pattern paper, I just trimmed with a paper trimmer a strip of the paper to go on one side. And then I added a piece of black lacy ribbon to that panel. I just wanted to go simple colors for this. And so I found some really sweet polka dotted paper in the Trick or Treat paper pack. And I'm going to add that gnome right on top of that with the ovals. and that really finishes the card. It's very sweet. I hope you give it a try. It's a quick and easy card. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and share. Have a great day.